Hi, this is 365801 and this is a little chatty video. Today's video is going to be all about this little pink book. I have introduced this before in previous videos, so you might recognize it. It's getting a little bit scabby around the edges, but this is where I keep my shopping list, as it were, my BL wish list, or my shopping list of BL titles that I want to collect. And I have shown it in a few videos before, but basically looks like this. Hopefully you can see it quite well. This was created back in around September 2019. Now it's obviously been about 2.5 years since then. So many of these are now in my collection and some of them are not. And I haven't updated it in a while, so I thought I would just take you along and talk you through what I've got and what I don't have, and what I need to transfer over to a new book. Now this book, all of the list is at the back of the book, and I've used the rest of it, not all of it, but some of it, for other things. And I kind of like it, but I would prefer to be able to have a dedicated book just for it. So I've got this other one that I haven't used. It's very similar, it's a slightly different colour, you can see, and it is newer. There's nothing else in this, so I can use this completely dedicated to my shopping, my manga collection, my acquiring of BL, and I can add things to it. So I want to create a new list in a smaller book. Now I did this once before and I did do the video, so I'll put a link up in the corner. And this is what I had made. So this is what I used. This was back in 2020, and this was all of the manga that I had purchased for the year, and I was keeping track of it. Very good, well done. And this is where I created my list, and I just transferred what was here into here, and I could tick off what I had and what I didn't have. But I didn't really keep track of it. You know, there's a lot of things that I have that I haven't actually bothered to look at, and that's mainly because this is pretty big and bulky. It's not the easiest thing to move around, and this is so much easier. It just fits into my pocket. So I wanted something that's easy, I can take with me to the shops if I go shopping in actual stores, rather than having to rely on my phone to let me know what I have and what I don't have. So I'm going to make a new wish list, a new BL shopping list, and that will be a different video. But I thought I would just go through this as a wee chatty video and show you my list from several years ago. Now the first one at the top is Be Beautiful. Now I don't have everything, but I do have Finder. I got all 3, so that's off, but I still have some Embracing Love to get. I think I have volumes 1 and 4, so I need to get volumes 2, 3 and 5. These are out of print, they're a little bit difficult to get hold of, and I'm not really making it a priority. I think I could probably get each of them for about £10, so I'm kind of holding off a bit. Kazuna is a wee bit more difficult. Kazuna, this is Bonds of Love, and I have all of the evens, 2, 4, 6 and 8. But I need to get all the odds. I think I might have one of the odds, maybe. I'll need to check, it's been a while. So I need to get some Kazuna as well. So these 2 will be transferred over into my new book. So Be Beautiful is still on my wish list, still on my to buy list. Now if we move down to 801 Media, this is one I'm super excited about. In fact, I'll just do it just now. I want to make sure that I have highlighted things I need to transfer over. So Embracing Love needs to get transferred, and Kazuna, Bonds of Love, needs to get transferred over. So 801 Media. This was one that I really felt was almost impossible to get hold of. Most of these were ones that were like absolute wish list. No way is this going to happen. And yet it has. The one that I'm probably the most excited and surprised about was the first one that actually got ticked off, which was Underground Hotel, volumes 1 and 2, even though I'd never want to read it. I don't want to read it, but I was so surprised to see them. And I got both of them for £11, 50 each. So £23 for the two. I still remember because I was so shocked that someone was selling them. It is amazing. As you can see, I like counted down. I have these numbers all over the place and I thought I'd explain them to you. This was when I had 7 volumes that I needed to get. Then I managed to get 2, so it went into 5. Then it was 3. Then it was 2. And now it's none because the one that was left over was volume 1. And as you can see, there's a wee 70 there. And that was the cheapest I could find a copy of volume 1. Until someone put the full set 1 to 5 on eBay and it sold for around £30, 30 to £40, I think. And so I knew that was the baseline. So the baseline had changed from £70 for one volume to 30 to 40 for the full set. Now I already had volumes 2, 3, 4 and 5, but I just needed volume 1. So I knew I didn't want to spend that much money on it. But I found a copy for, I think it was around £20 something. But together with the cost of 2, 3, 4 and 5, it kind of added up to the £30 to £40 mark. So I knew I was getting it for the lowest possible amount that I could possibly get. As you know, this channel is all about getting the manga, but also getting it for the best price I can. So I now can tick off number 1 and tick off the whole of Love. Love is like a hurricane. I did just do a reading vlog of this. I'll put a link up for that as well. It is what it is, but I'm happy it's in my collection. The other one down here is volume 6 of Z. I managed to get volume 2, a volume 5, and then the only one I needed was a volume 6, and the cheapest I could see that was £160. And that doesn't even include shipping, which could be anywhere between £5 and £50 because it was coming from the US. So £160 is way above my budget. There's no way I'm going to spend that much on just one single volume within a series. Maybe if it was like the complete series, you might consider it, but I personally wouldn't because I don't really think about putting £160 down on that much. It's only 11 volumes. Maybe if it was like a full box set of something ridiculous. Anyway, so Z, I managed to get volume 6. A European seller, I think they're from Germany, was selling a volumes 1 through to 6 for £30 or £35, and then a little bit of shipping. And so the cost of each individual volume was just over £5, maybe just under 6. So I would say that was pretty good for volume 6. It then meant I had duplicates of volume 2 and volume 5, so I really could have held off on buying those two and just got the set. But you never know what you're going to get. But it does mean that I now have a volume 6 for a very good price. I have duplicates of some of these. I did sell one of them to Katie. Hi Katie. And went to a good home. And that's it. That's 801. So the whole thing is done. I can now like cross it off. I have every 801. And I'm going to do my big grey thing. Just like... Yay! It feels really good to be able to do that because I don't need to think about collecting any more 801 media. They are defunct. I don't think Junai or DMP are going to be publishing anything else through the 801 imprint. So I think that's it. I kind of wish they would because Hey Class President, I think, has a couple more volumes. I think we only got 5. And I think they only printed like 7 in Japan. So, you know, I'd be up for a few more 801 titles being completed. But as it is, I'm glad that I've got everything that needs to be collected. Now, next door is the blues. As you can see, my countdown went all over the place. Now, this was really interesting because I just wrote this list, as I said, in September 2019. And the very first 2 that I spotted for good prices was Lovers in the Night by Fumio Shiaga and Love Hurts by Suzuki Tanaka. And so I ticked off these 2 and I thought to myself, maybe I'm going to end up getting them all in order. Wouldn't that be funny? Ha 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 ha. And of course I didn't. I got them all over the place for lots of different prices. And the last one, I haven't ticked it off, is Blood Honey, or sometimes called Blood Honey Plus. And the cheapest I saw it go for was 11, but I'm not entirely sure how much. I can't quite remember how much I paid for my volume. It's not the best condition, but I'm still happy to have it, and I'll probably read it around Halloween time because it's something to do with vampires. So I can tick that one off. And that's everything. It is pretty amazing. A lot of these I'm not even that bothered about, but I did manage to get them over the course of just under 2 years. So it took just under 2 years to collect all of these and all of these. So when you put your mind to it and you put a little bit of effort in, you can actually get the out of print ones. The one here is Earthian, 3 and 4. I already had volumes 1 and 2, but then someone put the full set up. And so just like Love is Like a Hurricane, you have to kind of gauge, is it worth your while purchasing a full complete set versus collecting them individually for these kinds of series. And I figured out that the cost that I put down for my volumes 1 and 2 already was only a few pounds, maybe 5 in total. And the cost of these individual titles 3 and 4 was usually more than what I paid completely for. And I think it was something like 14 or 18 pounds for the full set 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I decided to go for it. And I'm really glad that I've got them. And I've got duplicates now. That is something that I will need to go through at some point and go through my duplicates. That'll probably be another video. And when I have my full complete set collected together so that I can actually see which ones I want to keep and which ones I want to get rid of. But I do have a lot of duplicates in my collection and I want to get rid of them at some point, send them off to good homes and maybe recoup some of the costs, because obviously every volume cost me something and some more than others. The last ones over here probably cost me a lot more than some of these here. But yeah, once again, all of my blue Tokyopop is done, so I can tick that off and it makes me feel so good. And I can get my other pen and just do. Now that's the only time I'm going to be able to do that because I haven't actually completed any other publishers yet. But it is nice to start on a good point. Now the next one is Boysenberry. Now Boysenberry is an interesting publisher because they didn't actually print a lot of explicitly BL titles. They kind of published a lot of BL adjacent. BL adjacent is the best way I think to describe them because they're not really shonen ai, but they're not actually, like, there's too much of a nod towards the BL genre for them to not be, and yet they're not actually BL. So like Kamui might have shades of it, Aquarian Age here has shades of it, but it's not actually BL, and it's not even the tamer side of it, so it's kind of like Fujo bait. It's maybe another way of saying it. It's Fujo bait. It's like, we're not even going to give you anything, but you're going to want to look into this in a Fujo lens because there's nothing else for you to look through. Whereas there's a lot more now. So these are very old titles, and Boysenberry, part of Broccoli Books, is quite an old publisher. Now they did publish a book that I just read recently for my 1330, Pet on Duty or something it's called, and also Noodle Shop Affair, so Yamato Naze, CJ Mikalski, that kind of thing, and also Under the Full Moon or Until the Full Moon. I think Until the Full Moon is what it is actually, and I have the old versions now as well. So Kamui and Aquarian Age are not ones that I'm actually interested in collecting because, as I said, they're not really BL. So in a sense, I do have all of the BL titles. I have looked into getting them, and I was going to try and see if I could get the Aquarian Age box set, but in the UK or even in Europe, there's not many box sets about, and in America, they are a little bit more expensive and they're incredibly beat up. So yeah, I might keep them in mind, but as far as I'm concerned, I've got everything I want, but I still don't have everything. So I don't want to take this off. Annoyingly enough, like I want to because I'm like, I don't give a shit, but also technically I don't, so I can't. It feels annoying. The next one is Due. As you can see here, I've gone down from 9 to 5 to 4 to 3, and 3 was like the last time that I showed, I think, this. And these are actually some of the more difficult ones to get as well. And the ones at the top here are the ones that just ended up being the ones that were the most difficult. But some, like Seduce Me After the Show, I was really happy to get because it's generally quite expensive. Chocolate Surprise is quite an expensive and difficult one to get hold of. Idle Pleasures and Love Machine Etoile, they were actually quite tricky to get hold of too. But I think the other ones are generally okay if you hang around long enough. The ones that are most difficult are Mr. Mistress Volume 2 and Kiss All the Boys. Now Mr. Mistress Volume 2, I'm not sure if that was in my last haul, but it is in my collection now. I don't know if it was in my last haul or if it was in one of my 1330 videos. Go and check them out, I'll put links. But I managed to get volume 2 and I think I spent about maybe 14 or 16 pounds, which is more expensive than I want, but way less than the 30 or 40 the last time it went for. I could not believe that it was on sale, and I'm like, I will buy you right now. The other thing is, Kiss All the Boys then. So technically it's not 3 anymore, it's down to 2. But it's not actually 2, it's only 1. Because today a package came and it was Kiss All the Boys Volume 2. So I have Volume 1 and Volume 2, and I only have Volume 3 left to get. Ooh, that's news to everyone, isn't it? It's so exciting. This is literally just 2 seconds ago I opened it up, and I'm not going to show you, but it's so exciting to only have 1 volume left to get. So I can't tick off yet, but I'm only 1 volume away from a complete set. It is kind of tricky, it is kind of expensive. I think I can get all 3 volumes for around £60. But I don't want to spend £60 on 3 volumes when I have 2 of them now already. So I will wait for a volume 3 of Kiss All the Boys to make itself available to me, all in good time. But it is like so close to being ticked off. So I only need to collect 1. What did I use? Green. Kiss All the Boys, Volume 3. And that's the only one that gets transferred over into the next one. So the next one is Doki Doki. Once again, another imprint from June. And as you can see, it's like gone from 17 to 12 to 5 to 4 to 3. Now these are debatable because I wrote this list not really knowing which were BL and which were not BL. And what I would consider BL, just like over in the Boysenberry area. Alice the 101st is not what I would consider BL from what I understand. Now you can let me know. Is this actually BL? Would you consider it BL? It is quite tricky to get hold of. I think I can get like 1 or 2 of the volumes. It's got 4 volumes. It's only a 4 volume series, but 2 of the volumes I think are easier to get hold of for reasonable prices. But some of the other volumes are more difficult. But because I heard it's not really BL, I kind of lost any interest in hunting them down. I just wasn't paying attention. And I only focused on the ones that I knew for certain were actually BL titles, because a lot of Doki Doki is not necessarily BL. Sometimes it's Yuri, or sometimes it's like shoujo, that kind of thing. The ones that were BL I did pick up, and these were also like white whales I didn't think I'd get, like Boys Love, which I just recently read as well. Colour. Crimson Cross is another one, which I thought was Doki Doki, and I'm not sure if it actually is. It might be a DMP title instead, which is different. But also I'm not convinced it's BL. So let me know if you've read Crimson Cross, or if you've got a copy. Is it actually technically BL? Because as far as I can tell from the synopsis and things, it's not actually. So it shouldn't really be on my list. Then I've got Electric Hands, Cool and Uncool, I Want to Bite, which I never thought I would get, and Wolf God, which I didn't even know what it was. And this is one that I have in my collection. I suspect it's not BL. I haven't read it yet, but I think it's like this. It's like Kamui, it's like Aquarian Age. It's BL adjacent Fujoshi bait kind of thing. And they only printed 1 volume of the series, even though there's more. And I actually managed to pick up a copy from Book Depository of all places, which is insane. And then we have over on the other side, Bloody Kiss Tonight, and then How to Control a Sidecar, that's the other one. Now there's only 2 left on this list. One is Princess Plus, which I think has a mixture of Yuri and maybe BL, as far as I know. If you've read it, let me know. But I think someone said that it was a little bit BL, and worth getting if you were wanting to collect the rest of Prince and Princess. So I do want to collect the rest of Princess. I haven't got it all, so I'm going to put Princess Plus. This is very expensive to get hold of, very difficult. I did see it go for I think £4 once. But I was too slow. It was like 100 and something. It's like £104, and then they dropped the price down to £4, and I was like, what? And someone snapped it up. So the only one left on there is Millennium Prime Minister, Volume 1, and I don't have Volume 1. I have Volume 2, 3, and 4. Now, I thought that was a BL title, but someone has told me that it's actually more shoujo, and that there's not really much in the way of a BL-ness to it. So once again, if you do, let me know. But I do want to get the last one, just so that I can say I've got the complete set. And if I read it and I don't like it, and it's got no BL in it, I can always get it out of my collection. I don't need to have it. And I can get rid of the full complete set. So, yeah, it's not one that I'm massively enthused about getting, so I don't want to pay full price for it. I want to get a really good deal, and I just haven't seen a really good deal for a while. I could have picked it up for about £4 or £5 at one point, and I didn't. Oh, you never have buyer's remorse. You only ever have non-buyer's remorse. Anyway, on to the next one, which is Drama Queen. Hold on, that means just those two. Just two to add to my new wish list. The next one is Drama Queen. Now, this one had 11, but I don't think that's the case now. White Guardian on this side, I picked up. I now have The Judged. I don't have Rush. I really don't want to get it. And these ones I put down Audition and DVD. These are shoujo, and I wrote down shoujo, and I said if available. So only get it if you want to get it. And I've not wanted to, and I haven't picked them up. So Rush Volume 1 is full of original English language stuff. As you know, I'm not really a huge... Amazingly, like, I've been reading a lot of graphic novels recently and loving them, but original English language that was published like 15 years ago, not interested in the slightest. Which means I only have one left to get, and that is The Summit. This is a Korean BL, part of a series, but they only published one. I'm not even sure if it is BL. Let me know if you know, because The Summit, is it Kyung? I don't know. No, I can't remember the name of the author. But yeah, it's a Korean manhwa that was published in other languages. You can get many of the volumes, but in English they only printed the first volume of the series. So it's also annoying, because what's the point of getting only one of a series? There you go. Annoying, but there you are. So from Drama Queen, technically I do think I should get Rush to be able to say I've got everything that's BL, but I honestly don't give a shit. I don't like it. I have Rush Volume 0, because they only had 0 and 1, so there's only the 2 rushes, and I looked at it and thought, God, I don't want to put myself through reading that when there's so many other fantastic things to read, unless I'm going to slate it and slag it and just talk about how rubbish it is, which is just a negative. It's negative. We don't need that in the world. Anyway, moving on to the next one. Kitty Media. Ah, Jesus. Now I have, once again, only one left to get for Kitty Media, and it is Volume 3 of Incubus, and I also do not actually want to read this one, because who was it? Bizarre Individual, I think he said that he read it and that it was terrible. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Incubus terrible? It is, once again, a sort of OEL, and it's about vampires and stuff, so I thought it'd be quite a good read. And I do have volumes 1 and 2, but volume 3 is really expensive and difficult to get hold of. And it's been a year and a half maybe since I picked up the first 2 volumes, and I haven't been able to collect a 3rd volume. So it might never be completed. And Kitty Media was the first one I thought for sure I was going to have a complete publisher set, and it's actually just been languishing with this 1 volume. So I might end up like Drama Queen, Due, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get, for Doki Doki, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get Millennium Prime Minister. I could like buy a volume for 10 or 11 pounds, but Princess Plus might be tricky. So it's these last volumes to be able to get the complete sets. Might be a bit tricky. Anyway, net comics. There's a lot on net comics and I'll need to go back over. So for example, online I've got Aegis. Anime is another OEL I'm not really that bothered about. The Greatest Villain I have added to my collection and I just recently read it and it was quite banana pants enjoyable. And then another OEL. Now this one here, Do Whatever You Want. There's 1 to 7, so there's 7 volumes. I don't actually know anything about this. Is it actually BL? Is it worth getting? What do you think? Let me know. Yeah, I need to know more about this. But I'm going to highlight it anyway. The OELs can stay where the hell they are. I'm not bothered about them. But I want to know if Do Whatever You Want volumes 1 to 7 is worth putting on my list. So let me know. Over here we've got His House. I need to get volume 2 still. Why? I've had such a long time. I managed to get volumes 1 and 3 around this time last year and I still have not picked up a volume 2, which means I haven't actually read the full series yet. I Have a Boyfriend I think is online, so it's only digital. Another OEL. Intense. Now Intense I need to pick up volume 3 only. I have volume 4 now, so I can tick that off, which is always nice to do. Boy Princess volumes 1 to 9. I don't have any of. And To Take an Enemy's Heart. Now I don't have the full series, but I have picked up just recently volume 3, and I have volume 7, 5, 6 and 7. Yeah. So 1 is really expensive and difficult to get hold of. I think you can probably pick up volume 2, but a bit pricey. Volume 4, volume 8 and 9. I could probably get some of the series, maybe almost, but volume 1 is probably going to be impossible to get. But I'll put it on my list. Now, Prince Barry, I had volume 1, I need volume 2, I got it. I want it, I got it. Prince Barry, done. There are some extras, digital only extras, so I'll have to pick that up. Ruralville volume 3, I've never seen, but I'll highlight it anyway. Has anyone actually ever seen it? Does it exist in the wild? I'm not sure if it does. I have volumes 1 and 2, but has anyone in the world got Ruralville volume 3? Let me know. The next one is Sweet Blood, and it's taking me forever. I have volume 5 now. I just need to get volume 7. So Sweet Blood, volume 7, especially if I want to do a buddy read with Katie in October, because it's all about vampires. So we thought that would be good. So I need to pick up a volume 7 before October. And then Totally Captivated. Now I just put 1 to 5 because I think there's extras, and I have some of the extras. Diary of Chan-Hul, I think. So I think there's like 4. I put down 5, but I'm not entirely sure. So I need to check these. I'm going to put a wee star next to it. How many I actually have, because I have some of them. I think I picked up 2 or 3, but I don't think I've got them all. So there's the extras from that. So net comics, even though last year, 2021, I had so many net comics. Because Let Die was loads. Love Full of Scars, Prince Barry, The Greatest Villain. Like, I picked up a lot of net comic manga or manhwa from 2021. And 2020, I only picked up Merry Family Plan, just the 1 volume. It's completely different. Now, this next one is Seven Seas. Now, Seven Seas have really pushed the boat out in terms of what they have published since September 2019. I've just never updated the list, but I haven't actually got everything on my list. So the ones I need to collect are the My Lesbian Experience, which isn't really BL, but that's just for me, and also BL Metamorphosis. I only have volume 3, so I need to get 1 and 2, and 4 and 5. And Classmates, I think I might actually just go onto Amazon today and buy one of the volumes, because one of the volumes I think is on Amazon for £7 something, and I'm like, I just need it. I only have volume 2, so I need to get volume 3. And then I need to add on the other volumes, which are now being published. So 7C's list needs to be completely overhauled in my new list. It's going to be one of the main ones I end up like having a huge long list of things I want to buy from 7C's. I've been pretty bad about it. Now the next one is Sublime, and this was what I needed to pick up in September 2019. And I picked up everything. And then I added a couple of extras. That's it done. So in terms of this, it's done. But in terms of what they produced since 2019, there is one title, a 2019 title that they published in December, but then it only kind of came about in the UK in the January time, and that was Yarichin Bitch Club Volume 1, which of course Amazon just did not sell, and then it was like impossible to find. And I still don't have a Volume 1, and I need to get. So I need to go through the Sublime calendar for 2020, 2021 and into 2022 and go through which volumes I have and which ones I don't. Same as with 7C's, and create a brand new list, nice and long, that keeps me motivated to keep going, because this is one of the issues. My motivation for life in general is lacking because I have so many things on these lists already. So yeah, Sublime's completely done in terms of that. The last one I needed to get was 4th Generation Head. When I got it, I'm not entirely sure if that was happy about it. Yen Press. This is one where it's kind of so many brackets because Yen Press, for the longest time, just did not bother doing any BL. They did some Lily Hoshino, like Mr. Flower Bride, Mr. Flower Groom. Then they did Hyota Fujiyama. They did that weird RPG isekai, which I totally thoroughly recommend. Something About the Moons. It's a 4-volume series. Great. And then they came back with Monster and the Beast. 3-volume series, also fantastic. But they do have more offerings now, or they will be having more offerings in the future. But Yen Press is not really well known for its strictly BL. So all of these things are not actually on the BL list. They're things that I'm like, oh, I wouldn't mind reading or collecting if possible. So 1001 Nights technically was another publisher and then was taken over. And I have volumes 1 through to volume 7. So I have 8, 9, 10 and 11 to collect, which are the difficult ones to get. Obviously. So the ones that I'm interested in, like I put down Aka 13, obviously Kurashitsujii, Barakamon, Handakun, Nabari no O. I have only volume 1, but I'm not really that bothered about it. It's an interesting one. Olympus I've got. I spelt it wrong, but never mind. I forgot about that. The other one I'm quite interested in is My Girlfriend's a Geek. That's Shimbaris. Yeah, Shimbaris has this. It's quite easy to get it in French and German, but not so easy to get the full 5 volumes in English. And I have kept an eye out for cheap volumes, but I've never been that tempted to use the money for this one. So this is kind of like a maybe. Gekkan Shoujo no Zaki-kun, I really want to collect them. Silver Spoon, Little Miss P, Horimiya, Caterpillar Girl and Bad Texture Boy, I purchased secondhand and it was the weirdest thing. And then Betrayal Knows My Name, and I only have volume 1, but I do want to collect the rest of that. So I'm going to highlight this one, just because. And like I said, this is, once again, not strictly BL, it's BL adjacent Fujo bait. But I only have volume 1 of these 8 volumes. So not a lot from Yen Press. Over we go to Vertical. I don't have all of the What Did You Eat Yesterday. I have I think I got volume 15 or 16, I can't remember. But I'm just going to highlight all of these ones. Now Tokyopop, I need to completely do this list. Because they've just released so many more that I need to go back through. So just like Sublime, I need to create a new list completely. But I do need to get Don't Call Me Dirty, Replay, Dekoboku Sugar Days. So these were the ones that were available at the time or I've added to. But I need to get more. So many more Tokyopop ones. I have so many of them in digital. So sometimes I'll read them and be like, meh. But I know if I want the collection, I need to collect them. Melting Lover I actually did get, and Canis I got. So once again, Dempa, but it's actually Kuma. I need to get a new list for, because they've published a lot more that I haven't added. So this is going to be like the others, created new. Kodansha, I haven't got all of Ten Dance, and I haven't got all of Hitorajime My Hero. I've got the odd ones here and there. I need to get volume 2 and volume 6 of Ten Dance. They're the ones that are out. And Hitorajime My Hero is up to volume 10 or 11 now. And yeah, I'm missing. I think I've got volume 1, 5, 6, 7, and no, 5, 6, maybe 7 and 8, maybe just 8. So yeah, there's a few missing from Hitorajime My Hero. And I actually would like to collect them all and sit down and just do a big binge read. I want to know. And of course, Hitorajime My Boyfriend, which I need to add. So that's why I need to do this. Revamp my list. Now we're going to Junai Manga. And this is kind of exciting, isn't it? Like, I had 1, 2, 3 pages full. And I had at varying different times, went down to different numbers of books that I needed to collect. The ones that I managed to pick up are some fantastic, amazing white whales. Not necessarily great quality, but I'm happy to have them. The ones I don't have is I No Kusabi novel series. And that's because I actually put that down as a purchase in the Kickstarter campaign, which, let's never talk about that. Because the rage. So it was like, pay £80 and you get the full complete set. And I was like, well, that's great, because that's only £10 a volume. And I'm supporting them and getting the Kickstarter off the ground. Yeah, bullshit. So yeah, I will expect them at some point in my life, or my money back at some point in my life, because otherwise it's fraud. Would you believe it? The next is another novel, and that's All You Need Is Love, Volume 1. I have Volume 2. It's not actually, it's a 3-volume series in Japanese, 2 volumes in English, and I only have Volume 2, I don't have Volume 1, so. The Volume 3, I'd actually be quite interested to see what it's about. And I picked up everything else, which is amazing. The only one on this side, at the top, Kizuna Volume 3, which seems to be the one that everyone has a bit of trouble getting, so that gets added. Kurashina Sensei's Passion. I was like, oh, I'm not really sure if I want to collect them. I think I have Volume 3. Turns out there's 5 in Japan. They only published 3 of them, so it's just Volume 2 that I need to get. Annoying. And oh, look at that! Hey Sensei! Woo! Oh, that feels so good. It feels so good. So I now have Hey Sensei. Oh, so nice. Now over on the other side, we've got Stay Close to Me, which is the other title from her that I need to get. It's quite tricky to get hold of. And Only the Ring Finger Knows Volume 4, which everyone needs to get, but it's too expensive. I got Suggestive Eyes, didn't I? I did. I got Suggestive Eyes as well. Oh, get me. So that means The Guilty Volume 3, I could have purchased that. That's one of my regrets. So I could have purchased it. I could have purchased the full 4-volume set for £22. I know, it hurts, and I didn't buy it. Why did I not buy it? If you want to get this Volume 3, you're going to pay over £100 for sure, and that's only if you can actually find one. Oh, and I could have had the whole set for 25 quid with shipping. Non-buyer's remorse, people. And then I've got Deflower the Boss as well. So that's actually quite good. So that means I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I think there's 4 there. So 10. It's only 10 old Jun manga titles to get. Obviously these are like tricky, difficult ones to get hold of, but that's a really, considering how many I had, like 40. I had over 40. So that's actually quite well done. Good job, pat on the back. Now the ones over on this side are others, so like Banana Fish, Descendants of Darkness, some Moto Hagio works like Po Clan, Princess, I have Volume 1, and I think I've got Volume 3. I am going to put this down. I'm going to highlight this one. Vasalord I picked up. Silver Diamond is one that I'm collecting. And I have 1, 2, 5, and 6. I think I have volume 3 as well now. I think. I might have volume 5. There's a few to pick up. So I'll just make sure I have that highlighted and check. Kyo Karamao I was interested in getting. Angel Sanctuary. And Bloody Mary I have got volumes 1 through 6. But I need to collect volumes 7, 8, 9 and 10. I think I also need to get the last volume of Akaori Yuki God's Child. Is that what I bought? I don't know, I haven't read it yet. Shh. It's on my TBR. So that's it. This is all I had in terms of my list. So when I now create my new list, and that'll be a separate video, I can then just lift them and put them in here, and it's much cleaner, much easier to see. There's not all the scrappiness, but the scrappiness shows how much I've used this. These paper sheets are so well worn because I've just been opening and closing them for 2.5 years, and it's been really useful to have. And I think this is quite a good wee size. I can put this in my pocket, in a jacket or a coat, on my bag, in my front pocket. It's easy peasy, and it's so much nicer to know. It keeps my head sort of settled, which is important for me, so I don't feel overwhelmed. But I do want to get, for example, Sublime 7 Seas, Tokyo Pop, the newer publishers who are printing so many new great titles. I need to keep track of them, and it's hard to keep track of what is being published, what has been published, when things are being published. And I want to be able to have that kind of information, like when I've purchased something or when I've ordered something, when things have arrived, how much it cost, all of that kind of thing that helps me feel organised and grounded. So yeah, I hope you found this more like interesting as a wee chat. Are there any that you are trying to get as well, or any of the ones that hey, if you've got it and you're wanting to sell it to me, DMs, slide in my DMs. That's the thing. It'll go to a good home. So yeah, this is what I need to get, and it's not a lot after 2.5 years of trying to buy from my list. And I do think getting a list is a good idea. So I hope that you found this video entertaining or educational in some way. I'd love to know what titles you're putting on your wish list or your shopping list, and then I can add it to mine. I'd also really love to know if there's any that I have kind of missed out. I think there's one from CMX that I don't think I looked into CMX at all. So that might be a publisher I need to look at to try and see if I can collect from. Any other publishers that are new to the game. Cherry Magic, for example. I don't think I have any Square Enix. That's another list I have to. So any publishers or any titles you think that needs to go on your new shopping list, make sure you start looking out for theirs. Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell to get notified when the next video is up. Any comments, any and all, welcome. Love hearing from you guys. Thanks for watching to the end of this video. It is pretty long, but I really appreciate it. Take care. I will see you in the next video. Remember, every day is a BL day. Bye.